What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Looking for Heals, a game that just came out in 1.0 after a long history and early access that's being developed by Blue Bomber Games. What this is effectively a tongue-in-cheek game about being the healer in an MMO and having to hurt a bunch of morons as they attempt to stand inside of every single red circle they possibly can, despite your forewarnings and being like, hey, maybe don't stand in the bright red circle. They do it anyways, and then you've got to make a hard decision whether or not to let them die. This game is particularly near and dear to my heart because I am a career healer in MMOs. I always play a healer, particularly if there's plate mail healers. That's what I almost always go for. And so, as you might guess, I'm a big cleric and I'm a big paladin player. Always of the holy variety, healing people and carrying them through dungeons despite all of their dumb decisions. So this game resonates with me. Over my storied career since the early 2000s, playing everything from EverQuest onwards, you would not believe the amount of dumb things I've seen people do while trying to heal them and keep them alive, and then somehow they're mad at me. And so, as you can see, this is a game that obviously is striking very, very close to home. It's a roguelite, so it incorporates some mechanics along the lines of like The Binding of Isaac, but on top of that, it also has sort of RPG mechanics. It's got roguelite mechanics in there. It's got all kinds of stuff going on with unlockable meta progression and stuff like that. So we're going to dive on in today, play it for about 25 minutes, see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this, you wanted to do that, you can find a link down below, as always, that I provided for you so you can get the game for yourself, or just keep an eye on it. On top of that, you'll also find links to my Discord and my Twitch stream and all that kind of fun stuff where I'd love to be your host, so think about stopping on through. But let's dive on into the game. We're going to get as far into this as we possibly can. I have played a little bit before this just to unlock some basic stuff so as to differentiate it from the last time I checked the game out a couple of years ago, maybe. But anyways, let's start a new adventure. Every single adventure starts out here in the Tavern. It's pretty standard stuff. That's what adventurers do. They hang out in taverns until, like, in unison, they're all like, hey, let's go do some adventurous stuff. I have no meta currency right now, but I have unlocked things. So we have the Marksman over here. Has a special ability. Fires at multiple targets when in range. Apparently boring to hang out with, likes playing the loot, and is a critical thinker. I don't think that any of this stuff actually comes into play inside of the game, but I really, really hope at some point they will think about making it happen. Having it be so that, like, playing the loot, like, every 30 seconds, they play a little song with a loot real fast in between their attacks that, like, buffs their attack damage or somebody else. The kind of a boring hang means people are less likely to come, like, rescue them when they're under attack and they pull aggro. Critical thinker, meaning that, like, maybe they look around for explosive barrels and stuff to shoot at when enemies are in range of it. I would love to see these things actually matter, but as of right now, I think it's just flavor text. It's just fluff. I've also got the Pyromancer, who apparently throws fiery balls at the enemy. When your balls are fiery, you gotta throw them. We've got Xavier, the Beastmaster. Apparently, he's got a pet that he sends on out. He's got a strong work ethic. His hobbies are drowning puppies. I saw that in the corner of my eye as I was walking away. That's like the last thing that a druid should do. Dude, you are kind of a marvel, in all honesty. You're a druid that enjoys, well, you're not necessarily a druid, but you're a Beastmaster that enjoys drowning puppies. One would think he would raise the puppies and then use them for combat, but no, he drowns them, apparently. We've got Sage the Berserker, Sage of the Wildfire. But anyways, or what was Sage? It was Ryo of the Wildfire. What did Sage do? Sage did something. I don't know. Wasn't he like the water guy? I don't know, dude. You've got me off on a tangent with Rodent Warriors right now. Anyways, we've got Sage. He's got a good personality, a fear of public speaking, and waxing mustaches. Take note, he cannot grow a mustache. So his hobby is finding other people with mustaches and waxing their mustache for them, whether with or without consent. We haven't really verified, but anyways. And then we've got Christian, who is the Vanguard. That's our basic tank. We can take 4 of these guys into the dungeon with us. On top of that, we can get different healing spells and different stuff that we can do. As of right now, I haven't really unlocked most of it. I don't know exactly where we pick our loadout from. Apparently, I equip my spells at the exit after I equip them, but I've unlocked a couple. One thing I will say about the Tavern in here, just little observations. If you wanted to make the gameplay look a little bit more satisfying, they've got kind of these rocking beats in the background. My suggestion would be make their little bob animation and our character's bob animation go along with the beat. Just an observation, because this game does have really, really good music. Also, you can clip inside these bookcases over here, so that would be one of those little things that, like, nobody other than me would notice, but because it's my job to do a qualitative assessment of a game, those are little things that I notice. So anyways, let's pick our party members. I think I'm going to go double Vanguard. Yeah, let's go double Vanguard. We'll have 2 tanks, and then on top of the 2 tanks, I think we'll go with a Wizard, and we'll go with a Beastmaster, because I've never actually played the Beastmaster. Everybody else is going to leave right now. If you unlock stuff from over here, it'll start showing up inside of shops, inside the game. And then I don't remember, I think this guy just talks to you. I don't know. Over here is where we can change our loadout before we leave for our adventure, but I don't have anything to swap out, so here we are. I've been given 4 abilities. I have right here, I can heal people. This is just a basic flash heal real fast that heals people a little bit. We've got a shield right here, which is an invulnerability shield. It lasts for like 8 to 10 seconds. I would like to see how long that is, specifically stated inside the tooltip. We also have a burst of holy light that comes off of us right there. But we have to be in proximity of everybody for it to work. And then we have a healing grenade, which we can throw at somebody. So it's this, but we can throw it somewhere. Exact same effect. It's just this one is a projectile, and this one is centered around me. We also have a mana potion that we can play because we got to keep an eye on our mana. Now, with the UI, we have our coins. This is how much money we have to spend inside the dungeon. The coins are a universal resource that are used for leveling up your characters, for leveling up your relics, for buying new relics and things like that. There's also this little meter down here, which you need to pay attention to. This is how many reses you get in this leg of the dungeon. Your characters can die, and they're not permanently dead. You can res them, because after all, you are an MMO healer. However, there's a limit on how many reses you get, kind of Monster Hunter style. So if you hit that threshold, dungeon's over, and you go back with your meta currency, and you buy new things, and you go back in again. Our mana meter is underneath that, right there. So you want to keep an eye on that as well. There are a few ways that I think the UI of the game could be rearranged, but like, let's get to it and start finding ourselves some treasure and some various things. Oh, there's monsters in here. Lovely. All right, well, you guys attack him, I guess. Go ahead and get on it. I will do my best to, like, heal you all or something. Here, I'll put a shield on you. You don't need to press the number key every single time you heal somebody. The heal is actually on your mouse cursor, and you can just spam it after that. It does have a light cooldown on it. There we go. My warriors finally got him off the wizard. Perfect. Just continue annihilating the vulture. Thank you. You have my permission to kill the vulture aggressively. There you go. Carrion Fowl is dead. And then it's going to give us kind of like a review of how well we played. These right here are mana gems. They're going to show up randomly during fights, and you can restore your mana. If you go over the top, it does like a super mana thing, but I haven't like verified exactly what that does inside of the confines of the game just yet. All right, in you go, everybody. Apparently that guy's throwing buzzsaws. I would very much like it if you guys would just attack him. That would be fantastic. I'm going to throw a... Oh my god, get a heal off, please. Okay, put a shield on... Yeah, put a shield on the wizard, because the buzzsaw is sitting on his chin right now like stubble. That's not great. I definitely want that guy dead first, because that buzzsaw... Oh, we lost a guy. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my mana meter. And that leads me into my next thing, is that I think the UI could be rearranged a little bit to be a tiny bit more effective. So my thoughts are this. Like, we have to click on the characters themselves. My suggestion would be... is that you get a small bonus, like a 10% bonus for clicking the character directly with a heal, right? Like a 5-10% bonus for clicking them directly. However, you get exactly the healing that's on the card if they add health bars to the side, MMO style, that you can click on. So if you want to seek out the characters individually, you get a tiny bonus. Maybe even make it an unlockable ability, like if you click somebody directly, everybody around them gets like a 5% heal, and if you click on the meters, that doesn't happen. Basically sort of like play around with the idea that a lot of people think of healing in an MMO as playing like health bar whack-a-mole, which is exactly what it is. So if you decide to take the easy route out and you play health bar whack-a-mole, you don't get the little bonus that's added onto your ability, but if you click on them directly, you do get the ability on like a short cooldown or whatever. I think that could be done very, very well, and that would actually add another layer of complication to the game, other than just like looking to click on people. It also alleviates the issue that sometimes your characters are stacked on top of each other, and you can't click the guy you want to click in the heat of the moment. And so anyways, having the meters on the side for each party member would be nice, and then it would also be an opportunity to introduce that mechanic that I just talked about, which is another layer of progression, which I think no game ever suffers from having an extra layer of progression. We just picked up a relic right there. It's called the Life God Totem. Whenever you get healed, there's a chance to get a healing explosion. And so chances are we probably just want to throw that on one of our warriors right there. Everybody can have 3 relics on them. Every time you level them up, they get a skill point, which allows you to level up their relic and make it a little bit stronger if you wanted to. We can't heal people outside the fight right here if we wanted to do so. The other UI element that I would recommend is I would like my healing, my mana bar to be on the side of my character right here where I can see it a little bit better. I would like to have basically a mana meter next to my character, possibly. I don't know if that's available through the options, but I do think that's a really, really good idea because, for example, I looked down at my meter right there for just a second, and we lost a character because of it. If it had been right here next to my character, I would have been able to, like, tacitly see it out of the corner of my eye, and it would have been, you know, I play a career healer in MMOs, so I know what I'm talking about here. I always had my UI super modded out so that I could see everything at the same time that I needed to be able to see without ever having to break line of sight on, you know, my healing bar whack-a-mole. Put a shield on him. Maybe throw a heal over there. If I stand right here, I can kind of like do nuclear heals on everybody and just kind of be lazy, which honestly, I'm a big fan of being lazy a lot of the time. I think laziness is a virtue. Like, you can trust a hardworking person to get something done, but you can find, oh, I let somebody die again. You can trust a lazy person to find the fastest, most efficient way to get the job done. That's just facts on how the world works. I've been a lazy person my whole life. And you'd be super, super surprised how many unique solutions I've come up with in order to be even more lazy while still getting the job done up to minimum viable product. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're a little bit spread out right now, but I do like the fact... Ooh, I just used my shield. I used my shield right as the wizard pulled aggro. And also, I've got 2 sets of health bars to look at now. This is not ideal. I'm not a super huge fan of this. The faster all these guys converge and like start hanging out next to each other again, the happier I will be. But it is quite a frenetic game. This is definitely a game that requires your attention in order to get it done effectively. I'm going to throw a heal over there, throw a heal over there. We're almost done with the vultures, so hopefully we can make it through this room without any further death and or mayhem. Come on. Die for me, would you? I need you guys to die just like a little tiny bit. Can I have a relic in this room, too? Do I get a relic? We have lots of monies. We can also kick open these crates right here because we have no respect for property ownership. So that's pretty rad, and we can just, like, take people's coins. Why they left them inside of a crate in the middle of the desert, we may never know. But they're my treasures now. All right. So we're down 2 reses. It looks like there's a shop over here, but I think we're going to have to fight our way to it. The other thing is your characters, they don't really, like, keep up with your healer all the time. Yeah, this is an awkward camera angle right here. I'm going to be honest with you. This is kind of a sketchy camera angle. I'm not in love with it. That's a little better. I think that's a tad more workable. I'm going to throw that over to you. I really wish they'd go after the guy who's throwing out the buzzsaws. That would be my favorite thing for them to do, but ultimately I don't really have control over these characters. They kind of just do what they do. And we hang on for the ride, man. That's part of the game's experience, okay? Is you kind of just hang on for the ride. Oh, he's throwing out multi-buzzsaw right now. That's even more inconvenient. I definitely hate that with the totality of my heart. However, good opportunity to get some mana back right there. If you could stop standing in the buzzsaw. Oh, another buzzsaw guy! What's not to love about that? Yay, more buzzsaw guys. Oh, even more buzzsaw guys. Fun, 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 fun. But yeah, the camera can be a little bit finicky with this game. You gotta kind of get used to it. I tend to like feel out the battlefield and try to find like that perfect spot that I just want to sit in where the camera perfectly encompasses everybody, but the camera can sometimes shift on you a little bit and then you don't have view. Once again, another situation where the health meters would help. I wouldn't mind the camera kind of like moving around as it does on its own. If I had some universal way of healing everybody. Alright, so another room down. I kind of want to explore more fully, like I'm fine with taking a few more fights around here. So he's getting chewed on by a scorpion right now. I got stung by a scorpion one time. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. I'll be honest with you. Like, I got stung by the scorpion, and like I expected it to kind of be like a bee sting. But it, like, really wasn't. It was just, like, a little lump on my arm. Oh, he died. He pretty much got one-shotted. I was watching his health, but I thought he could tank it for a second. I was wrong about that. There we go. Get everybody healed up. I have no idea who he's targeting right now. I think him with the little reticle, but I'm not entirely too sure. There's a lot of chaos happening right now. It's a very, very busy title, all right? There's a lot of things happening, and frankly, doing commentary during this entire experience, I didn't have a single death when I was playing this for like an hour before I recorded it. But now I'm dying almost every single room, largely because I'm just trying to keep a mental dialogue going. It's hard to focus on multiple things at the same time. Normally, when you're healing in an MMO dungeon, you're just like sitting in silence and occasionally being like 50% mana. Just like checking in with the raid leader or whatever. I think we can afford a few more rooms. We still got some reses left, so I think we'll be okay. I don't know if those reses come back when we get to the end of the level, but honestly, I think we're going to make it to the end of the level, so I'm not that worried about it. So he's on him. We'll go ahead and kind of, yeah, there you go. Get on top of him right there. He's taking a little bit of damage, but I think he's target swapping on me from time to time. That is very, very expensive to spam. I can't see his health bar at all. And these guys are getting drug off in other directions. Ah, the chaos of a disorganized group. Everybody decided not to get on vent this time around. Everybody's still alive, though, so that's always a good sign. Some people have poison and whatnot on them, so they're losing health independent of whether or not they're getting hit by the boss, but I can live with where we're at right now. The enemies do tend to target swap a lot. The tanks don't seem to have a lot of ability to pull aggro, at least on like big fights, I guess. A few more meta currencies right there. Alright, you guys just fight those baby skeletons real fast. Sometimes there's treasure chests inside the eggs, which is why I'm kind of like looking. I do think that this ability right here, this Holy Light, it shouldn't require targeting. Since it radiates off of me, if I press 3, it should just go off. Like, I shouldn't have to press 3, then click on somebody to use it, since it's a since it's a me-centered AoE. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary. And we do have a couple more items here. Milk of the Muscle. On first strike, perform a reasonably heavy attack. Alright. Who's my highest DPSer? Probably you, right? That's probably right. Let's go look at the store down here. We'll see if they've got anything that I wanted to equip on my little dudes. And then once I decide whether or not there's anything that I want to buy down here. So we've got another Milk of Muscle right there, Explosive Eel Essence right there, and then a Health Essence. I don't know what a Health Essence does, so I think I'll take the Health Essence just to find out. Oh, maybe it just heals everybody up. I don't know. Did it heal everybody up? Or like, what did that do for me, I guess? Yeah, I do think there could be some labeling here, like when you mouse over it, a little window pops up and tells you what the item does. Just lots of little graphical, there's lots of little like GUI things that they could do up in here to make it a little bit, oh, it added another res. I see what it did. Okay, cool. So that's readily apparent then. We effectively bought ourselves an extra life. I'll get an Eel Essence, and then I'm going to level you up, and then we'll level somebody else up in just a minute. But we're going to put the Eel Essence on you. We'll put the Eel Essence on you, and then you've got a skill point. So I'm going to give you a 10% chance to do a healing explosion whenever I heal you, because that seems really, really awesome. There's also a few more coins inside these boxes, so I should be able to level somebody else up with the profits, and I'll just put that on the tank first. You know, tanks always get a little bit of that old favorable treatment when it comes to video games, just because like you got to gear them up first before you can clear anything. You know, if you're not at the DPS fight, if you're not at the DPS check fight yet, you just give the gear to the healers in the tank, man. It's just the way that it goes. We get to choose something now that's going to help us out. We can get the Gift of Swiftness. We can get From the Brink, which means reviving one fighter revives everybody. We can get a Shield Aura. That gives us it around... Okay, so I'm going to go with that right there. It absorbs all damage, apparently. Okay, so we don't get our reses back at the end. Makes sense. So I've got like a healing aura. I don't know how frequently that's going to go off to help my party out. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Okay, it absorbs all damage, and it actually seems like it's kind of a girthy ability. Like, it looks like it lasts for a little while. So if I can, like, position myself effectively, I sort of feel like we can take a lot of the stress off some of these fights. I'm going to try and set up like halfway in between these guys just in case a mob breaks off and goes after somebody that is not a tank like they're doing right now. Exactly. Precisely the thing that just occurred. I'm going to stand right here to absorb this damage. Throw that on you. A little shield over there for the wizard. Yeah, almost lost the fighter right there. Wasn't really paying attention very well. Did did we lose somebody? I don't know if we lost somebody or not. I don't know. It said that I had E to interact with something, but I'm not exactly sure what I was interacting with. Might have just been an environmental object. It looks like the shield absorbs like a certain amount of damage. Oh, there was a treasure chest underneath me. Okay, I guess that makes a lot of sense. We'll go ahead and pop all the rest of these spiders, too, just to make sure we get all the money that we possibly can, and any of the meta currency that bounces around. Milk of the Muscles right there, so we got another one of those. I would like to level my party up on this run. I may not buy a whole lot of items. I'm going to throw another Explodey on you. And First Strike for you will get a little stronger, too. Hey, we have $69. Now's the time on the internet that we all perform the ritual of saying nice. Go ahead and give a shield out right there. But since we have 2 buzzsaws flying around, I'd really, really like it if just maybe my shield ability would pop up. Shield ability? Oh, I think it's like instantly eating my shield, and that's what's going wrong right there. Apparently it's a very, very DPS intensive attack, so it eats up all the it destroyed my shield like instantly. That's what's happening. Okay, so we've killed you guys off. Apparently I got a C rating. I have no idea what awesome stuff you have to do to get an A rating. On that level, I'm just not sure. However, let's grab all of our coins and stuff. They suck into our character anyways. Apparently we have a vacuum-like booty hole when it comes to money. Oh, I don't know what the hell's going to happen in here. The music changed, so I'm going to assume that the intensity of some of this has gone up. For right now, they're tanking pretty good. I will give them kudos on the actual soundtrack of the game, which is quite good. The soundtrack is a banger. I like the soundtrack a lot. You guys just... Actually, they're not going after my wizards or anything, so, like, I'm sort of okay with the way that this is playing out. That guy's head is on fire, which he should definitely seek out a medical professional or at least somebody that works with EMS to figure out how we fix that. Come on. Let's get her done. Yep, let's rock this thing. So apparently I gotta fight the Bone King now, and it looks like he does indeed do some damage out there. The good news is, oh, he's doing the splits on us. See, that's somebody with a flair for style right there. I respect that. Like, just kind of doing flips on you, boy. There's bombs going out everywhere. I feel as though I'm just going to sit over here and AoE. I'm going to put a shield on you in case that bomb hurts you. We seem to be doing okay. But, like, honestly, mana's getting a little tight. So I'll use a potion. Why not? Use that cooldown. Hey, we got a B grade for that one. Whole bunch of meta currency right there for our progression runs. And then we got the Stare Bear. What does the Stare Bear do? The enemies leave an acidic pool behind when you kill them. Okay, well, let's level you up and level you up. And then I'm going to give you the Stare Bear. We'll level up your relic, level up your relic. And there's no more skill points left to go around. That's fine. That's no biggie, but we did pretty good with our first sort of like mini-boss. Oh, cool, you get a res back when you beat the mini-boss too. Very nice. And there's the portal that gets us on out of here. I don't know if there's anything worth like picking up over inside this little area. Like, we do have a shop. Mark of the Death God. Well, that just sounds sick as hell, so I'm going to buy that. On first strike, you give a debilitating curse that increases all damage against the target. Yeah, sure, throw that on. We got one person kitted out for right now. Give me my coins. I need them. Let me get some of my coins. So anyways, that's pretty much the way that the game functions. There are varied healing spells and whatnot that move around. I think that the UI is really the big thing that I would fiddle with this game as of right now. I do like the core gameplay loop, and if you are a healer in retirement like I am, but you're looking to kind of scratch that itch without signing up for a, you know, if you're trying to sign up without paying a subscription, then this game definitely does hit that point. I think if they make those adjustments to the GUI and give that some thought, it would definitely be much more satisfying because you'd stop losing characters when they're like out of the line of sight or behind like a particularly big enemy. But other than that, I think the game's pretty cool. It's a lightweight beer and pretzels game that you really don't have to put too much thought into, but at the same time, it scratches a very particular itch for a very particular type of player, i.e., Me, the guy that played healers for 20 years straight. So anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for stopping on in. This game is called Looking for Heals. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Tomorrow will be something different. Bye-bye.